Yo, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be going over the automations which you can set up in GoHighLevel to get your client results like this. And I'll load more. So as you can see, loads of conversations going on basically automatically until my client has to get involved. So the automations looks like this. Roof clean quote sign up. There's two main ones which I'm going to go over. The first one is what happens when someone signs up for your Facebook ad and fills in the lead form. So they are automatically sent a text. They're updated in the opportunity, in the pipeline. It does look confusing. Don't get me wrong. It looks like this basically, but I'm going to walk you through it and you're going to have this set up in no time. It's really not hard once you know what you're doing. I am going to be basically referring back to this because I'm going to be making it from scratch right in front of you. But obviously I can't remember everything. So I will have to come back to this one and just take a quick look at it so we can move on. Obviously, make sure that this is, once we set up these automations, there's going to be parts which are very specific to my niche. Make sure you change this to make it specific to your niche because, obvious reasons. You're not going to be asking someone that signed up for a chiropractor session to give them their address for a roof cleaning quote. So without any further waffle, make sure you change it to your niche and use critical thinking to change things which are going to work better for your client in your case. So don't just copy and paste this, make it suit your agency and your service and your niche. All right. So we set up a sub account, we set up a pipeline, and we definitely set up that phone number. There's a video on that. If you haven't set up the phone number, go back and watch that. So we're going to go to automations here, which is on the main page of the sub account that you set up for your client. And you're going to click create workflow. Now we're going to start from scratch. You can import all of these campaigns, but I've never really done that. I've just started from scratch and then press create new workflow. From there, you are taken to here. We want to name it straight away. So client's name, you know how this works. I'm going to call it example sub account, example workflow, but call it your client's name and then quote sign up or whatever they have signed up for with the Facebook ads. There's one tip that I want to get into before you start all of this, and that is to constantly be saving your workflows because there are sometimes problems when you come off, it accidentally doesn't save, and then you have to start all over again. And you're about to see this can be quite a tedious process. Not hard, just tedious. So we're going to add new workflow trigger. That is going to be the Facebook lead form submitted. And then you need to make sure you get this right or the integration is not going to happen. So the workflow trigger is what's going to start the entire automation. And once you click on that, you want to go to Facebook lead form submitted. Just leave it as this. You can change the name if you really want to, but for now, just leave it as this. And then you want to press add filter, go down and press inform. And then from here, you can click the name of the form which you have set up. I'll just go for some random one for now. But the form which you are using on your ads needs to match up with this part here. If it doesn't, then you're not going to get the integration. So just make sure this works well. I said it time and time again. The results of your ads and your automations and how everything works directly results in you growing as an agency. So make sure you're not just messing this up and make sure you get these details nailed, because if you're not getting the integration and the automation set up, you're not going to put your client as many jobs and you're not going to grow and scale as an agency owner. So make sure inform, this is saying this, and press save trigger. Save that. Now, first thing, as you can see in this one, is an internal notification to you, not to anyone else, but just to you. So internal notification, press that, type of notification, you want to SMS, and then you're going to do it to a custom number, which is going to be your number. Just make it 07. Make it this for now. That is not my number, by the way, so you can't text me on that. I don't know whose number that is. It's just a random string of numbers. Message is going to be custom values. You want to click on this. Contact. Then you want to go up to first name. And then you want to write has become a lead for client's name. So type in your client's name here. Obviously, don't write client's name. And then just do a smiley face. This is going to be a text you get when you know you've got a lead coming through. And it's quite a nice text to get because you know your ads are working. So whenever I get this text, I'm happy because I know my ads are working and I know there's a potential that my client books a job. And because we're doing pay on results, assuming you've been following my process, more likely that you're going to get paid. So press save action. Call this internal notification. It's going to be automatically called that. And then the next thing you want to do is go to opportunity. You just search opportunity up when you press plus, and then the actions come up. Search opportunity in the search bar and press create/update opportunity. So next, you're going to get in pipeline. You want to select the pipeline which you created earlier. It's called your client's name, signed up for quote pipeline. And then you want to make the opportunity name, which is going to be the name of the lead, which is tracked in GoHighLevel. And you're going to click this little tag here. This is going to bring up the custom values so that you can make it so it changes depending on the name of the lead. Then you then go to contact, first name, and it just says this. It looks like code, but it just means that the opportunity or the lead is going to be called the first name of the lead, so you can keep a track of them there. Opportunity source, don't know what that means, never touch that. And lead value, let's just see what you get if you, I don't know what you get if you touch that, but I just leave it. And I also leave lead value. The only time I touch lead value is when my client gives a quote. They automatically, or they don't automatically, my client inputs the lead value so we can see the value of the quote given pipeline, or the quote given stage in the quote pipeline. But yeah, sorry to waffle, you don't need to touch this and you don't need to touch this. Status you can select as open, doesn't really matter. The most important thing is they have become a lead and they're going to be listed in that column which we created in the pipeline called Facebook lead form submitted, so we can see how many people have become leads. Save action. Now hit save. Just, always want to make sure it's saved just in case you accidentally click off and don't save it. And then as you can see, there's a wait signal. And this is going to wait for 3 minutes before they're sent a text. So we're going to input this in by clicking the plus, as you now know, and just search for wait in the search bar. And time delay, you want to make this a time delay and make it 3 minutes long. So hit save. This, I've been saying, it might not be the best way to ever do this and get the most results, but it's just been what's working for me. The reason I set a time delay to wait before we just send the text straight away is because this is going to be a long video, by the way. The reason I do that is because we don't want it to look like a robot's done it. We want to make it look as natural as possible. And if you just send them a text as soon as they sign up, it's going to look weird. So waiting 3 minutes, it's not that long of a time. We're still contacting the lead within the first 5 minutes. So we're going to wait, and then we're going to send them this first text, which, as you can see, says hi, their name. Whatever the lead's name, once you type in this, is going to change to that. I'll show you how to do that now. Hope all is well. The name of your client from wherever, what their company's name is. Thanks for requesting a free roof cleaning quote. Could you please send through your exact address so that I can see the size of your roof on Google Maps? Now, this is only going to work, obviously, in the home improvement niche, but I'm going to just keep it like this, adjust it accordingly. So, hi, contact name. Definitely you want to do first name because it's more personal. And then you want to do a comma and just type out the rest of your text below here. In my case, it was asking for their address because we need to give them a quote. And my client does quotes digitally or online by looking on Google Maps. But in your case, it might be, could you let me know the services you're interested in, or when are you available for your consultation, or what is your back pain? What is your problem? What is your problem? What is your problem that I can deal with if you're a chiropractor niche or whatever? Just make sure it's specific, sounds friendly, and it's a nice text which you can send to all the leads, and it relates to the Facebook ads. So whatever they're signing up to on the Facebook ads, you want to relate to this first text. I'm not going to type it all out. So you also want to go onto the SMS one and call it SMS one. Here, you want to press save. So as you can see, there's another wait signal, which we're going to implement here. And this is going to wait for, let me check how long this was. It's going to wait for 1 hour. So we're going to change this wait from time delay to condition, or to contact reply, sorry. So this is going to mean it's going to wait 1 hour to reply to SMS one, and then we're going to add a timeout, and that's going to be the 1 hour. So it's going to wait 1 hour. If you respond, it's going to follow the following steps. If they don't, then it's going to time out after 1 hour and follow the other steps which we want. And the way we're going to do that is by adding a branch, which is called the if else. So you type in if at the top, this will come up. Call it branch, call the branch here yes, because that's going to be yes, they have responded. And then you want to change the segments. If you're confused, just follow the steps and change the text to what you need. But this is the way you're going to get clients to respond. You're going to change the segments to contact reply, contact replied, and then yes. Okay? Then you're going to save the action. As you can see, this has made a branch. You've got a condition. Yes, they have responded, or no, no response. So you want to hit save. So this means if they have responded to SMS1, it's going to go this way. If they haven't within 1 hour, because we set a 1 hour timeout, it's going to go this way. Now, as you can see here, it now branches off. So we're going to do what happens if they do respond first. And then we'll move on to what happens if they don't respond, because we can copy and paste what happens if they do respond. As you can see, this sequence repeats the whole way down the automation sequence if they do respond. So we can literally copy and paste this. I'll show you how in a sec, but first we need to build it out. So we're going to do an internal notification, but we're not doing that to our client yet. We're doing that to ourselves to give ourselves just happiness once we see that they've become a hot lead. So internal notification, just type IN at the top for internal and it will come up. Type of notification you want to text. You want to do a custom number. Remember, we're doing this number, which isn't my real number. So, and then you want to go to custom values, contact, first name, has become a hot lead for your client's name. The reason we're typing in client's name is because once we have multiple clients, it means we can keep a track of where the lead, like what lead has come in for what client, for client's name. And then a smiley face, it's good news. So you're adding a smiley face. Save that. So we have that, and then we're going to wait 2 minutes. This is just to stop our client getting really keen and responding straight away, which might be the better thing to do. But for me, I just feel like not that we want to leave it long, but we just don't want to be responding to the leads in like 10 seconds because it looks weird and our client's going to think we're some weird pushy sellers. So press save action. We're waiting for just 2 minutes since they responded. So this is the condition that they have responded. We're going to get a text, then they're going to wait. And then what's going to happen is we are going to get a text. Okay, so we're going to wait, and then 3 things are going to happen at once. First thing is we're going to send them a text. In my case, this works. In your case, this might not. In my case, we've asked for their address in SMS1. So we're assuming that they've sent their address. That's why I have a text which automatically responds once they say something, saying, as you can see, great, thank you. I will take a look as soon as possible. Speak soon. And this is just so that they have got a text back. And that's also the reason I put the wait in, because we don't want an automatic text to be sent straight away because it looks like a robot. So we put that in and I press save. Now, this works because 9 out of 10 times, once they respond to the initial text, they're sending their address. So it's a normal thing for my client to say, great, thank you. I will take a look as soon as possible. However, if it's more, sometimes it happens to me where they say, hi, before I send you, like they'll ask a question or they won't send their address, and then this still automatically sends, and it's a little bit awkward because it's like they might say, oh, I don't know, they might just ask a question that they don't even mention their address, and then they're told, great, thank you, I'll take a look as soon as possible, which is a bit weird, but most of the time it works well because it just looks like my client is ready there talking to them and they've got a response straight away, and it just says thank you for giving them their address. And this isn't, my client doesn't even have to touch his phone, and this automatically gets sent off. So it does work well, but like I said, it's a little bit weird if you're in a niche where the response to the initial text can change every time. So just make sure that this works for you. If it doesn't, you can just skip this step. You don't need to add an SMS here. You still want to have a yes branch, and you still want to have that internal notification for you. But you might not need the text saying thank you for sending your address, basically, because sometimes it messes up when someone doesn't send their address and they're still sent that text. I said that badly, I'm ranting, but just make sure it works for you. If not, don't do it. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is add an internal notification, but this isn't to us, this is to our client. So add the internal notification action. change the type of notification to SMS. And as you saw in the last video, we set up an account for our client within their sub account. So to user type, particular user, and then we're going to want to set that to our client's name, which in this case is Ollie Test. And then you want to call it, you want to make the text say, oh, didn't mean to do that. You want to make the text say, here is where you can type in the text. Go to custom values, first name. In my case, I say has sent their address for you to quote. Please check the app. So this works in my case because our leads are usually sending their address. Obviously, like I said, with the text, sometimes when this happens, they haven't actually sent their address. They've asked a question, but 9 out of 10 times they've sent their address, and you can come onto the app, look on Google Maps and give them a quote. So save that action. In your case, you might want to make this has become a hot lead. I used to literally just have it contact first name has become a hot lead, and that would just be sent to my client. And that's fine because they can go on and check what they said. But most of the times they're sent their address. So the next thing you want to do, as you can see here, is create or update an opportunity. So add here, and then you want to go to update. And then the first thing that comes up is create/update an opportunity. In the pipeline, this one, and then you want to move them to hot lead because they've responded. So opportunity name always is going to be the first name of the client, and then the lead value and the opportunity source we leave, and they are still an open lead. So this is going to move them from Facebook lead form to submitted to hot lead if they respond to our initial text. So now you've set up the automations of what happens if our client responds. We can move on to setting up what happens if they don't respond. But before you do that, hit save, and then we can move on. Okay, so if our client does respond, doesn't respond, then we're going to want to send them another text an hour later. So as you can see here, if the client doesn't respond here, 1 hour later, they sent another text saying, hi, just checking if you received my message. So we're going to put that in here, add SMS. I think this is a nice way of basically saying, like, it's not pestering, it's just saying, did you get my message? And I think that's a good way of following up. So we're going to change it to first name, hi, their first name, just checking if you received my message. And then thanks, and then whatever your client's actual name is, which I'll just do as test account. Obviously change that to what your client's actual name is. And then importantly, you want to change the action name to SMS2. So from there, you can do a wait, and this time you want to wait for 1 day rather than 1 hour. So people say you need to be contacting leads like a million times a day, but they're going to just find you more annoying if you're contacting them. Like if the first wait is like 10 seconds and then the second wait is like 1 hour, the client's or the lead is going to be like flipping out, like these guys are intense. So yeah, you don't need anything but like wait 1 day and then wait 1 hour and then wait 1 day rather than like just contacting them like 50 times as soon as they sign up. Like when that happens to you, do you like it? No. So in this case, we're not going to do it for them. And it might seem like a little bit lackluster, but I get results from this. This is what works for me. If you want to do a more intense follow-up system or even a less intense follow-up system, then see yourself. So we're adding a wait, and this time we're doing it for 1 day. But we are doing a contact reply wait, replying to SMS2. Then you press save action. And now what we can do, which is we've done all the hard work, is we can literally copy and paste from here. So from here, we can go like this, copy all actions from here and paste here. As you can see, it says copy here, just click there. And now because our yes and what happens if they do respond is going to be the same every time, we just have to change a few things, which is 1, click on SMS2, change that to SMS3, and slightly change this around saying, you don't want it to be the same message every time, just like, are you just checking if you're still interested, or something along those lines. Now, I'm not going to walk you through every single step from here, but what you want to do is basically copy and paste this, make sure the wait signal is 1 day, and then make sure you come here, and if you go to save and there's a problem, which will happen like if this happens, so sometimes this happens, you go to save and then it says error while saving the workflow. There is some problem with this workflow data. Wait doesn't reference the step to wait for a reply. It means at one point in the wait or in the workflow, one of the waits doesn't have a reply to. And here, all you have to do is just check every single wait and make sure that it's waiting for a response to the most previous SMS. So that's why we always name the SMS, so we know which one it's waiting to respond to. So keep changing the SMSs. So it's not the exact same text as getting sent to the client or the lead, and make sure that you keep this the same and repeat this for 8 texts is what's here. I find that's really, like, if they haven't responded after 8 texts, considering we're giving it a day in between each one, that's like over a week, they haven't responded to any of our texts, then like if you want to carry on from there, feel free. And this is where we're going to move them into the long-term funnel, because they're not interested. Like, let's face it, that we're not going to make them a client anymore. Some people might say you can, and to be honest, you might be able to, but for me, I'm more interested in the new leads that have come through. I'm not going to waste my time setting up like a 50 SMS automation, because usually they'll just send a text, like 20 texts in, just saying piss off or like leave me alone, because they're not going to be interested anymore. So I'm not going to do it on call now, but not on the video now, but continue this process, changing the SMSs to what suits your niche, until you're on SMS 8, waiting 1 day between each one after the first initial one. Then you're going to copy and paste condition here, as you can see. So I'll do it here. You're going to copy and paste on the last one after 8. You're going to do copy on all actions from here, from the previous SMS. Press copy here below the wait for 1 day, and then you're going to delete this. Delete all actions below the SMS if they don't respond, and then create or update opportunity. Add that action in the pipeline, which you created earlier, in pipeline stage, and you're going to move them to the long-term follow-up. And then you still want the opportunity name to be their first name, but then we're going to go to the status and go to lost, because we've now lost that lead after 8 texts. Here I've only done 3 because I'm not about to make 8. It takes a while. But go through this, make 8 SMSs, and then if they get to the 8th one and they still haven't responded, make sure if you have this set up in case they do respond. That's why it's the same for each one. If they do respond, it's the internal notification to you, wait, automatic SMS, internal notification to your client, and then create or update the opportunity to the hot lead. But if they don't respond after the 8 texts, you just want to have one saying create or update the opportunity to the long-term follow-up stage in the pipeline. Hit save, and there you go. You have created your automation sequence. So double check that when you go into here, it's filters, inform, and this form is the one that you have made and using for your published ads. And yeah, now when a lead comes in, you're going to get a text, and as you can see, they're going to go through this entire system, which is very thorough, and make sure that each lead is accounted for. So if you want, you can test the workflow with just create a contact in GoHighLevel with your number and test that. But yeah, definitely do that actually, just to make sure it's working. And yeah, this is going to be really good, and make sure that each lead is accounted for. If you do want to hop on a one-on-one call with me to set up your GoHighLevel, and I'll answer any questions you might have with outreach, GoHighLevel, automations, even your ads, then just use my link in the description to get your first 2 weeks with GoHighLevel for free. And you're going to get a one-on-one call with me if you send me proof of that, where I can set you on track to making your first money with your agency. And I'll show you exactly how I do it and get my clients results. And that way you're going to see exactly how I do it, and I can answer any questions you might have, and it will take as long as it takes to get you set up and running and making sure you're on track to moving up in the agency world. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we go into the second automation, which I set up through my GoHighLevel. Thanks. Bye.